Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. Big brother Heidu, he is Xiao Yan, that person whom the few elders mentioned to possibly be the tribe leader's husband. Mo Ba Sai stared viciously at Xiao Yang before immediately informing the cold stern snake person by his side. The snake person, who was called Modu, nodded his head. His triangular-shaped eyes locked onto Xiao Yang as he spoke in a deep voice. Human, I am the second commander of the Snake People tribe. Heidu, although our Snake People tribe has already agreed to form an alliance with you, it is best that you keep a distance from our tribe leader. Otherwise, the one who will be unlucky will be you. Our Snake People race will not have any relationships with other races. Heidu's face also became unusually solemn after stabilizing his body. Although this person appeared as though he had just entered the Do Huang class, it was really unexpected that he possessed such a frightening strength. Many human figures shot into the campsite after the Mulan Valley's elder furiously roared. They swiftly appeared on the middle area. Numerous dense, cold eyes from the ground, the sky, and the top of the tents were staring intently at Xiao Yang. Their eyes were filled with a dark and chilly killing intent that seemed intent on tearing Xiao Yang's corpse into 10,000 pieces. Xiao Yang's face also changed slightly when he saw so many experts. With his spiritual perception, he could sense that there were 3 elite Do Huangs present. Adding the 2 Mulan elders, there was a total of 5 elite Do Huangs. If they were to join hands, even Xiao Yang would be forced to temporarily seek shelter. Most of the experts in the Snake People tribe were scattered to defend the remaining cities when the big battle had begun. Hence, some people were uncertain about the soul-stirring battle that occurred in the Black Mountain Fortress back then. Coincidentally, this second commander, who was called Heidu, had just returned from elsewhere today. Therefore, he was not too familiar with Xiao Yang, and only felt that this name was quite familiar. The green shadow slowly landed on the ground after that attack, transforming into a green branch. Xiao Yang was slightly startled as he looked at this branch. Who else within the Snake People tribe but Medusa could use a tree branch to force back an elite Do Huang? Mo Ba Sai, Heidu, the both of you seem to be continuously slighting this queen recently. An icy-cold cry was swiftly transmitted over, causing the faces of Heidu and Mo Ba Sai to change. They hurriedly bowed down on the ground. They were able to hear a slight fury in Medusa's words. Xiao Yang is a VIP of our Snake People tribe. If anyone dares to purposefully make things difficult for him, do not blame this queen for serving you the tribe rules. The experts of the Snake People tribe, who were present, looked at each other when they heard Medusa's words. No one expected that she would actually be so protective of Xiao Yang. Was what the elders said the truth? With Medusa's order, there was naturally no longer any snake person who dared to stop Xiao Yang. Hence, he left the area where the Snake People lived without obstruction while feeling at a loss. When he walked out of the isolation line and heard the human voices that once again rose in the outside world, the chaos in his mind finally began to gradually calm down. Xiao Yang swung his head about. He recalled Medusa's slight displeasure earlier, and that she had not revealed herself even while he left. It seemed that his expressions earlier had caused her to feel some anger within her heart. Xiao Yang was not a cold-blooded person. He did not hesitate much before he chose to make the highest-grade secret technique that was most beneficial to the baby when the first elder requested him to refine the other medicinal pill. No matter how one put it, the baby was his bloodline. How could he not give it the best things? However, this news had arrived too abruptly, destroying all of Xiao Yang's usual calm. Hence, the words he had said had accidentally appeared a little hurtful. I shall apologize nicely the next time we meet. Xiao Yang turned his head and looked around this area while muttering in his heart. After which, he slowly left. The first thing that Xiao Yang did within the secret chamber was to take out the Heaven Soul Blood Bone Pill medicinal formula that the first elder from the Snake People tribe gave him. After which, he began to carefully read it. The medicinal formula of this kind of Heaven Soul Blood Bone Pill was somewhat strange. Its main purpose was to help an unborn baby borrow the pure medicinal strength to open up and even expand some of the veins within their bodies while still in their mother's womb. In this way, the baby would be able to achieve double the effect with half the effort when it trained after being born. Due to this being natural, the baby would have a much easier time practicing any kind of qi method. This kind of medicinal pill was undoubtedly priceless to some sects or clans with an extremely powerful strength. As long as they possessed this, they would be able to repeatedly groom training geniuses with outstanding talents. After resolving this matter, I will hand this medicinal formula to Big Brother before secretly dispatching alchemists to refine them. The actual death squad can only be left to Big Brother and the others to decide. However, such people must be absolutely loyal. As long as we can possess a group of Do Wang-class death fighters, the Yang Alliance can be considered to truly possess an infallible status in the Jioma Empire. It is also not impossible to dominate the northwestern region in the future. Xiao Yang muttered to himself. Xiao Yang solemnly returned this medicinal formula to his ring as this thought flashed across his heart. He let out a long sigh as hand seals began to slowly form. His eyes were gradually shut as he entered into the training condition. Ever since he had broken through to the Do Huang class and left the small mountain valley, Xiao Yang had never truly calmed down to train. The big battle from a couple of years ago had also caused him to be always tensed up, not daring to relax even a little. Only now that Xiao Yang had finished this matter did he have the time to quietly nurse his body. After having used the Angry Buddha Lotus Flame so many times, Xiao Yang faintly sensed that his spiritual strength had appeared to become increasingly more mellow. It filled with more strength during the recovery cycle after this kind of exhaustion. His spiritual perception had also become much sharper than before because of this. His training quietly continued amid this dullness. By the time Xiao Yang had withdrawn from this training mode, glaring sunlight shot into the chamber from a small window. The rays left behind numerous light spots on the ground. Xiao Yang slowly opened his eyes. A somewhat whitish and hot aura was spat out from Xiao Yang. His expression had also become radiant in an instant. A hot fire glow flickered within his dark black eyes, before gradually fading a moment later. Battle is really the shortcut to raise one's level. Xiao Yang stretched his lazy waist. He could sense that his strength had improved slightly after the battle with Yang Luo Qian and the three Mulan elders. The current him had already completely stabilized at the 1-star Do Huang level. It had only been a month since he had broken through to the Do Huang class. Such speed was considered fast. Today, it is time to act. Xiao Yang moved his hand and a grey-colored jade piece appeared in Xiao Yang's hand. The corner of his mouth moved slightly as a somewhat dark, cold smile surfaced. Human figures were scattered around the top of a small mountain peak that was not far from the Black Mountain Fortress. However, no abnormal sound was present. Everyone was quietly sitting cross-legged on the ground. Their powerful auras were suppressed to the weakest level. Xiao Yang, Xiao Ding, Hai Budong stood side to side on the mountain peak while conversing in a soft voice. Has Medusa not arrived? Hai Budong knit his brows slightly and looked in the direction of the Black Mountain Fortress as he chatted. I have already informed her. I think that she should be consolidating the experts from the Snake People tribe. Xiao Yang smiled and replied. Not long after his words had sounded, a rushing sound was suddenly transmitted from the sky. A large group of figures rushed over. A couple of breaths later, they appeared in the air above the mountain peak before they slowly descended. The human figure who had appeared was naturally the experts from the Snake People tribe. Their leader was Medusa. Hai Budong and the others sighed in relief when they saw Medusa appear. If this assassination lacked her presence, it would no longer have a meaning to it. With just Xiao Yang's strength alone, the danger of breaking into the place where the three-army alliance gathered would undoubtedly soar. Medusa's faint eyes paused on Xiao Yang's body as she landed. After which, they swept toward Hai Budong and the others as she opened her mouth to say, let's leave if we are all prepared. Xiao Ding nodded slightly. He voiced his thoughts, the assassination this time around will follow our original plan. Third Brother and Medusa will sneak into the city and find the opportunity to kill Yang Luo Qian and the three Mulan elders. If your tracks are discovered or your assassination fails, Hai Budong and the others hiding outside will lead people to rescue you. At that time, it is naturally best that we destroy those fellows if we still have the chance. If it is really impossible, we will withdraw first. We cannot afford an overly large loss. After all, we are currently unable to endure it. Everyone nodded after hearing this. Let's leave too. Remember, all of you will listen to Hai Budong's orders after I enter the city. You cannot disobey him. If anything is to go wrong midway, do not blame this queen for serving you with the clan rules. Medusa turned her head and faintly spoke to the many experts within the clan. The person at the front of the experts from the Snake People clan was the second commander Heidu, who had some conflict with Xiao Yan. However, he hurriedly nodded his head when he heard Medusa's words. Medusa's prestige within the Snake People tribe was something no one dared challenge. Medusa only nodded her slightly head after seeing this. Her body moved and it rose into the air without borrowing any external strength. After which, it finally transformed into a ray of light that followed Xiao Yang and the others in front. The experts from the Snake People tribe behind her also swiftly followed. After all, it was just as the little fairy doctor had said. Although she possessed a dictatorship within the poison sect and not many people who dared to question her words within the entire Chuyun Empire, the Gold Geese sect and the Mulan Valley were not factions that originated from the Chuyun Empire. Moreover, the overall strength of these two factions was not weaker than the poison sect. The two large sects were originally willing to dispatch soldiers and experts to defeat the Jioma Empire, because they wanted to get a portion of its territory. However, the little fairy doctor had actually decided to give up on attacking after things had developed until this point. The two sects were naturally extremely dissatisfied. Although Yang Luo Tian and the three Mulan elders were seriously injured, once the essence strength reinforcements from the two sects arrived and delivered some high-tier healing medicine, the two of them would naturally be able to regain their strength quickly. At that time, they would once again become an extremely great strength. It was not impossible for them to destroy the Jioma Empire and the Yang Alliance. The border city where the three-country alliance was staying in was only 50 kilometers from the Black Mountain Fortress. With the speed of Xiao Yang and the others, they gradually approached their destination within an hour. It was a small depression in the mountains that was not far from the city. The Yang Alliance and the Snake People tribe began to swiftly descend while they were still some distance from the city, because they were worried that the experts within the city would discover a large number of auras. They quietly entered the forest before walking toward a hidden depression in the mountains. No one acted immediately after they walked to their destination. Instead, all of them began to quietly adjust their aura under Xiao Yang's arrangement, doing their best to raise their condition to its best. Didn't that little fairy doctor give you a jade plate? She will naturally remove some of the defenses once you break it. However, it seems to me that those patrolling clearly aren't merely experts from the poison sect. Even if she could remove some defenses, she can only move the experts from the poison sect away. The experts from the Gold Geese sect and the Mulan Valley will still perform their due diligence and guard this place. A faint voice was transmitted from behind him. Xiao Yang did not need to turn his head to know that it was definitely Medusa. Yes, but there's no choice. This kind of thing originally posed some risk. We will act when night falls. Given both of our strength, it is likely extremely difficult to discover us even with expert Do Wang's patrolling as long as we are a little careful. Xiao Yang nodded his head and softly replied. A low yes sound was emitted from behind him. Clearly, Medusa did not have any other opinions. Xiao Yang swiftly took out that grey-colored jade piece from his storage ring after hearing this. After which, he broke it before patting his hands as he said with a smile, now, we should wait until night falls. He turned his head around as he spoke and looked at the bewitching exquisite face, which gave one an ice-cold feeling. After a brief moment of hesitation, he suddenly whispered that. I'm sorry for yesterday. Medusa was also startled when she heard this. Eyes which were filled with an allure swept over Xiao Yang. This was the first time that she had heard Xiao Yang speak in such a manner ever since she became acquainted with him. You also know how to apologize, huh? Medusa lowered her face slightly and spoke in a faint voice. Despite speaking in this manner with her mouth, even she did not sense that her face had become slightly gentler. Clearly, this apology from Xiao Yang did have quite the effect. Xiao Yang smiled somewhat awkwardly. He rubbed his hands and said, I am currently unable to refine the Heaven Soul Blood Bone Pill. Once I have raised my refining skills a little, it is likely that I will be able to start refining it. However, you need not worry. I will definitely succeed within 2 years. Medusa nodded. For some unknown reason, there was some joy within her heart when Xiao Yan placed this matter seriously within his heart. This kind of emotion was quite rare for someone as temperamental as her. Yang Luo Qian is in the mid-northern area, while the three Mulan elders are in the west. Looks like we will need to split up and act. Medusa voiced her thoughts. Although Yang Luo Qian is seriously injured, he is ultimately still an elite Dozong. He will be extremely difficult to deal with should he retaliate. Hence, leave him to me. The three Mulan elders have lost one member. By not being able to use the three-beast savage skill, they are merely ordinary expert Do Hunags. Hence, it should not be a problem for your full strength to deal with them. What do you think? Yes. You should be careful. Xiao Yang felt a little moved when he saw that Medusa had distributed the most dangerous job to herself. He immediately smiled and nodded, in that case. Medusa let out a smile. Her epiphyllum-like smile caused Xiao Yang's eyes to brighten. Let's wait until night falls. The night sky quietly arrived while Xiao Yang and the others were waiting. The small depression in the mountains that was hidden by the forest emitted a slight activity, just as the crescent moon slowly climbed into the sky. Old High, all of you need not appear if this assassination proceeds smoothly. If any unexpected changes occur during the operations, we will need all of you to receive us. Xiao Yang turned his head, looked at Haibodong, and spoke in a deep voice after having completed his preparations with Medusa. Yes. Haibodong nodded. His face was solemn as he said, be careful. I will be constantly monitoring the situation in the city. Xiao Yang smiled. He nodded slightly before turning his head back while whispering to Medusa, let's go. Medusa, who had already changed into a set of black clothes, nodded when she heard this. After which, she moved her body and appeared in the air. She looked at the distant city, which still retained a tight defense even after being covered by the night sky. Xiao Yang flapped his purple cloud wings, as his body swiftly rose into the air. After which, he exchanged gazes with Medusa before slightly nodding. The two of them transformed into black figures that rushed toward the city under the cover of the night sky. With the speed of the two of them, they appeared at a spot not far from the city wall within a couple of breaths. Over half of those expert Do Wangs who were patrolling the place had already been moved away. The ordinary soldiers who remained may have been large in number, but they did not possess any threat to Xiao Yang and Medusa. Their two figures quietly stood in the darkness. Their bodies turned into black lines that rushed into the city in a lightning-like manner the moment an empty space was created when two expert Do Wangs crossed each other. Finally, their bodies moved and they flashed into the shadow of a building. We will separate here. Remember, leave immediately once you succeed. We will meet in the Black Mountain Fortress after that. Xiao Yang glanced at the human figures that randomly flew above in the sky. He suppressed his voice and whispered in Medusa's ear. Yes, be careful. Medusa immediately spoke softly, as she nodded when she heard Xiao Yang speak. Yes. 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 Medusa once again nodded. She did not procrastinate any longer after nodding once again. Her eyes slightly flashed to the sky above, before her body moved and turned into a blurry black shadow that rushed into the city in a lightning-like manner. Xiao Yang's eyes sent Medusa away, as her body quietly disappeared in the darkness. He also let out a soft sigh. After obtaining his bearings, he flew in the opposite direction of Medusa. The little fairy doctor, who was seated cross-legged on the roof of a spacious building located in the middle of the city, slowly opened her grayish-purple eyes. Her gaze swept over the direction where Medusa and Xiao Yang were located. She immediately lowered her face and softly spoke to herself. I have already done all that I am able to do. It is up to all of you to make it succeed. The camp of the Mulan Valley was located in an area that was near the western side of the city. Compared to the other dark regions of the city, this place was still well lit even though it was deep into the night. Fully armed soldiers were patrolling all over the place. Expert Do Wangs repeatedly flew overhead through the air. During the time that Xiao Yang had swiftly entered the camp of the Mulan Valley, Medusa had already appeared in the deepest region of the Gold Geese sect on the roof of an extremely luxurious hall that occupied a very large space. Medusa's eyes swept over the place in an indifferent manner. She glanced through the gaps between the tiles. She heard waves of woman moaning being transmitted from within as well as a familiar lewd male laugh. The chill in her eyes became even denser. She had long heard that the Gold Geese sect leader was extremely lustful, but she did not expect him to still find time for such physical enjoyment. Medusa flicked her finger, and a tiny thread of unusually rich seven-colored energy slowly agglomerated on the tip of her finger. Energy gathered on the tip of Medusa's finger, but she did not immediately act. She shut her eyes and appeared to have entered her training state. Her body did not make the slightest movement, while the energy on the tip of her finger became increasingly condensed. Only one true killing move was needed. An assassin similarly only required one strike. Hence she needed to grasp the best opportunity. 3 old men were seated within this well-lit tent. From their appearances, they were naturally the 3 Mulan elders. At this moment, the 3 of them had formed a triangular shape. All of their eyes were tightly shut. The nostrils of the 3 of them were emitting a blood-red energy. This energy lingered over the 3 of them before completely entering the old man with the weakest aura. Clearly, this elder of the Mulan Valley was the tiger-headed elder, whom Xiao Yan had seriously wounded that day. Looking at the action of these 3 people, it seemed as though they were recuperating. This 3-beast savage skill is indeed mysterious. It is actually able to heal each other. Moreover, its effect is also quite good. No wonder it is the most profound chi method of the Mulan Valley. Xiao Yang, who was hiding in the darkness, could not help but feel surprise in his heart while he observed the manner of the 3 people. He also gained a greater opinion of the 3-beast savage skill. If the Yang Alliance had experts who practiced this chi method, the increase in its strength would not be small. Xiao Yang gently exhaled. He gradually calmed himself as the Do Chi within his body quietly circulated. The recuperation within the tent continued for around 10 minutes before it gradually stopped. The 3 of them slowly opened their eyes. I have recovered a little. However, my injuries are quite serious. It is likely that I can only wait for the Tier 6 medicinal pill to be delivered from the Mulan Valley if I want to be fully healed. The tiger-headed elder's face was gloomy as he replied, "It is unexpected that the brat actually possessed such a tactic. We really underestimated him." A Mulan elder frowned as he spoke. "We were merely disadvantaged by being caught off guard this time around. Moreover, the fire lotus that he used against Yang Luo Tian also seemed to really exhaust him. It is not possible for him to recover within a short period of time." A viciousness flashed across the tiger-headed elder's eyes as he said, "Once the elite experts from the Mulan Valley arrive, we will once again join with the Gold Geese sect, and we will strike the Yang Alliance until their blood flows like a river even if the poison sect ceases to participate." Xiao Yang, you have really come. The eyes of the 3 Mulan elders shrank slightly as they looked at the silver-colored human figure, who had rushed over in a lightning-like manner. They immediately cried out with stern voices. At the same time, powerful Do Chi suddenly surged. The 2 of them joined hands and violently smashed angrily toward the light figure. The 2 punches carried a fierce wind. They were as quick as lightning, and in the blink of an eye, their fists smashed heavily against the light figure. The light figure shook intensely upon receiving such a heavy blow. It immediately scattered in front of the shocked eyes belonging to the 3 Mulan elders, an afterimage. Having already gained the experience of exchanging blows with Xiao Yang, a lightning flashed past the hearts of the 2 elders. They suddenly turned their bodies in dismay, and could see a black figure standing beside the tiger-headed elder in a ghost-like manner. His eagle-claw-like hand firmly held the elder's neck. The black-robed, young man could not help but give the 2 people a slight smile when he saw them looking over. His white, shiny teeth caused a chill to spread through their bodies. "Xiao Yang, what do you intend to do?" The 2 Mulan elders did not dare to make any unusual movements. They stared at Xiao Yang's hand claw wrapped around the tiger-headed elder's throat. At this moment, the latter only needed to use a little strength to kill the elder on the spot. They could only cry out sternly in the fear of harming their companion, "Nothing. I am merely getting rid of the problem at its roots." Xiao Yang faintly smiled. His voice was quite calm. However, it was these calm words that caused the hearts of the 3 Mulan elders to sink. Although they had taken precautions, they did not expect Xiao Yang to actually take such a big risk and come to the 3 Army Alliance's grounds to launch a sneak attack on them. "If you kill him, you will completely become enemies with our Mulan Valley. At that time, it is likely that the situation will turn into one where we won't give up until you die." The Mulan elder on the left side studied Xiao Yang with dark, solemn eyes while he spoke in a ferocious manner. My Yang alliance was nearly eliminated by all of you. Isn't it a little too late to say this? Xiao Yan's faint smile remained on his face, but now contained some denseness. His hand tightened slightly while he said this. The tiger-headed elder's face immediately turned red. He widened his mouth and started panting. The two Mulan elders' faces twitched. They finally inhaled a deep breath of air a moment later. They suppressed the fury within their hearts and one of them said, Xiao Yang, as long as you let him off, I swear that the Mulan Valley will no longer find trouble with the Jioma Empire and the Yang Alliance. What do you say? Nothing. Xiao Yang continued to smile as he replied. The eyes of the two Mulan elders shrank. Their hands, which were behind their backs, suddenly began to form seals without leaving any traces. Their mouths, however, used a deep voice to speak. If you aren't satisfied, we can use our Mulan Valley's three-beast savage skill to exchange for his life. How is it? This Qi method of ours is a DI class middle-level Qi method. You have personally experienced just what its strength is like. Three-beast savage skill. Xiao Yang's eyes moved slightly upon hearing these words. The eyes of the two Mulan elders flashed with joy that was difficult to detect. However, they did not have time to speak before Xiao Yang laughed. I am indeed very interested in this Qi method. However, he must die. Xiao Yang flapped the fire wings on his back, as he dodged the head-on attack of an elite Do Huang. His expression was dark and cold as he struck violently toward the head of an expert, Do Wang by the side. Flame surged immediately and the punch hit the latter. His head became like watermelon that burst apart immediately. After killing an expert, Do Wang with a single punch, Xiao Yang's face was covered with some blood. His dark black eyes gradually revealed a bloodthirsty, ferocious look as he once again violently charged forward and rushed toward the exit of the campsite with all his might. Fierce bare ground splitting fist. Lion inch force. Xiao Yang's expression was solemn as he sensed the sharp, bloodthirsty attacks from his front and back. They had basically locked all of his retreat routes. His face also became slightly solemn, as his hand seal moved and a circular dark green fire ring swept in all directions, with his body at the middle, fire ring explode. A low roar sounded and the swiftly spreading jade green fire ring ruthlessly collided with the fierce attacks of the two Mulan elders. Immediately, a clear energy explosion resounded across the sky like thunder. Wild and violent energy swiftly spread. The fire ring gradually disappeared, but Xiao Yang still sensed two hidden force striking toward him. The ruthless attacks, which were targeted at his chest and back, caused his throat to emit a soft groan. While Xiao Yang was injured, the two Mulan elders were also blasted by the glazed lotus heart flame, until fresh blood dripped down from their fists. Clearly, both parties had suffered some injuries during this head-on collision. Xiao Yang had yet to have the time to catch his breath, after temporarily forcing the two Mulan elders back, when over 10 powerful forces suddenly shot over from all directions. They aimed at all the fatal points on Xiao Yang's body, as they wrapped around him. Clearly, after having suffered the sharp close-range attack from Xiao Yang, these experts from the Mulan Valley began to avoid a close-range battle. Instead, they chose to rely on their powerful Do Qi to put off Xiao Yang's movement. Xiao Yang could ignore these Do Qi attacks if there was only one of them. However, with so many of them attacking in an orderly manner, even he could not just allow them to hit him as they wanted to. Hence, he swiftly used the glazed lotus heart flame to form a jade-green fire armor on the surface of his body. Xiao Yang's heart sank, as he sensed the many powerful Do skills that were being gathered around him. Just as he was about to go all out and prepare to blast these bastards to death with the angry Buddha lotus flame once again, a ray of light suddenly rushed over from the distant sky. Within a couple of flashes, it went on a rampage and charged into this chaotic sky. A graceful lovely figure twisted before appearing in front of Xiao Yang. She extended her delicate hand and the Do Qi pillars that rushed from all over the place disappeared into nothing. The black figure turned her head, revealing a calm and exquisitely bewitching face. It was surprisingly Medusa. Her eyes swept over Xiao Yang's blood-covered body and immediately sensed his somewhat chaotic aura. Her bewitching, long pupils revealed a dark, cold killing intent. Next, leave them to me. I will let these two old fellows pay the price. Xiao Yang studied Medusa, who had appeared in front of him, and sighed in relief. The other party had too many experts. If he were to charge forcefully with all his strength, he would naturally be able to leave. However, that was on the precondition that he used the Angry Buddha Lotus Flame and killed a bunch of people. Once he used the Angry Buddha Lotus Flame, Xiao Yan would feel extremely weak. If any other situation occurred during this period, he would no longer have much ability to defend himself. Are you done over on your side? Xiao Yan's eyes swept in all directions as he quickly asked, Yes. 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 Medusa nodded indifferently. She did not waste too much strength in dealing with Yang Luo Tian. It was actually so smooth that it had exceeded her expectations. However, it was worthy of his Dozong's strength to allow that fellow to die when he was having the most fun. You should leave first. I will take care of things behind. If we delay a little longer, it is likely that the experts from the Gold Geese sect will charge over. Medusa turned her head and spoke to Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang hesitated for a moment before nodding. He did not say any unnecessary words, as his body moved and charged out of the encirclement. Medusa's sudden appearance undoubtedly caused the Mulan Valley experts' faces to become much uglier. After nearly a year of exchanging blows, they were extremely clear of just how powerful the former was. In the past, the three Mulan elders were able to fight with her a little with the help of the three beast savage skill. Now that one of the three was missing, the Qi method had completely lost its effect. It was undoubtedly impossible for them to rely on their strength at the peak of the Do Huang class to exchange blows with Medusa. Medusa's pretty eyes indifferently swept over the two Mulan elders. She clenched her delicate hand and a seven-colored snake sword flashed and appeared. A fierce glow appeared in her eyes. Her body moved. It rushed toward the two people in a ghost-like manner. Stop her. Quick. The combined strength of all the experts from the Mulan Valley did not cause Medusa's body to show any signs of slowing. Hence, after a couple of flashes, she appeared beside the two Mulan elders, who were swiftly withdrawing. Her exquisitely bewitching face revealed a dense, cold expression. The faces of the two Mulan elder changed when they saw Medusa charging through the hindrance of so many experts in such a swift manner. Their bodies moved back as they let out a sudden furious roar. Both of their hands immediately overlapped one another, and a rich blood-colored energy agglomerated on their fists. An instant later, tyrannical blood-red wings were created and violently smashed toward Medusa. Medusa moved her delicate hand as her gaze indifferently observed the two people, who were struggling on the brink of death. It gently collided with the fists of the two people. Immediately, a seven-colored energy poured out in all directions. The fleeing speed of that Mulan elder suddenly increased with the urge of the shock within his heart. However, at this moment, his body abruptly stiffened. The trauma on his face also paused at this moment. He lowered his head slowly with some difficulty, only to see a sharp sword tip being revealed, carrying the bright red traces of blood. The life force in his eyes swiftly scattered as the fresh blood dripped down from the sword. Finally, the Mulan elder's body fell in front of the many stunned gazes around. The seven-colored snake sword in Medusa's hand slowly disappeared. Her eyes were cold and indifferent as she slowly swept them around. Following the sweeping motion of her gaze, the surrounding experts from the Mulan Valley hurriedly withdrew with traumatized faces. In their hearts, Medusa was just like a fierce god, who had just killed two experts at the peak of the Do Huang class within a short couple of exchanges. This skill was really vicious. Medusa withdrew her gaze and lowered her body. She pulled off the storage ring on that Mulan elder's hand in front of the countless number of people. After which she slowly walked back and removed the storage ring from the other elder. Only after doing this did she slowly ascend into the sky. Her body transformed into a ray of light that rushed out of the camp. A majestic aura suddenly spread from the middle of the city where the poison sect was located after Xiao Yang and Medusa left the city. However, after this aura discovered that it could not catch up with them, it could only unwillingly withdraw. Two human figures slowly came to a stop in the night sky far from the city. They sighed in relief when they saw that there were no pursuers. Xiao Yang exhaled for a long time as a smile surfaced on his face. Tonight was really stimulating. The death of two elite Dozongs was sufficient to cause the Gold Geese sect and the Mulan Valley to become crazy. In the future, they would likely no longer have the courage to come and attack the Jioma Empire. Are you all right? Xiao Yang turned his head, and looked at Medusa, whose delicate hand was gently pushing away a thread of black hair that was on her forehead. His voice was soft as he asked, and his concerned tone could not be hidden. As long as that little fairy doctor doesn't intervene, no one in the city can stop me. Medusa shook her head slightly when she heard Xiao Yang's words. Without realizing it, the coldness in her pretty eyes quietly disappeared. Xiao Yang smiled. He was just about to speak when a commotion was transmitted from the mountain forest below. A large number of human figures rose into the sky. At a glance, these were not their pursuers, but Haibudong's group who had been lying in ambush here. We were successful. The final hidden danger had been completely removed. Xiao Yang grinned and nodded as he replied. A joy that was difficult to hide surged onto the faces of Haibudong and the others when they heard this. They exchanged looks with each other and emitted a cheer. Xiao Yang also laughed when he saw that everyone was so excited. He took out the storage ring that he had stuffed in his breast pocket and placed with it a little. After which, he inserted his spiritual strength into it. He flipped his hand a moment later, and a scroll that was made of dense white beast bones appeared in it. Atop the beast bones were a couple of blood characters that appeared to be formed from fresh blood that flashed in a glaring manner. 3 Beast Savage Skill. Is this it? He coveted the 3 Beast Savage skill the 3 Mulan elders practiced. It was unexpected that he would actually be able to get his hands on it today. This was really an unexpected surprise. Xiao Yang carefully opened the white bone scroll. His gaze swept over it only to end up frowning slightly a moment later. What is it? Medusa by the side could not resist opening her mouth to inquire when she saw Xiao Yang looking like this. Although this is indeed the 3 Beast Savage skill, it is only one of the parts. According to what is written on it, the 3 Beast Savage skill is divided into 3 parts. This is only one of them. Even though I have obtained it, it is of not much use. Xiao Yang shook his head and sighed quite emotionally. Medusa hesitated for a moment after hearing this. She took out 2 storage rings from her breast pocket and said, "These are the storage rings of the 2 other Mulan elders. You can search and see if the remaining 2 parts are within them." "You finished off the other 2 old fellows?" Xiao Yang asked with some surprise as he studied the storage rings in Medusa's hands. Medusa casually mentioned as she nodded. That manner was as though the 2 who were killed were not experts at the peak of the Do Huang class, but merely 2 unimportant chickens. A wild joy suddenly surged in Xiao Yang's eyes after the spiritual strength swept over it. His hand moved, and 2 more white bone scrolls appeared in his hand. These 2 scrolls had similar blood-red large words on them, the 3 Beast Savage skill. It is actually the 3 Beast Savage skill. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.